Hello everyone, welcome to Thrift Store Bibles. My name is Scott, and on this channel I'll be featuring book and Bible reviews and other videos related to the Bible and the Christian faith. The reason I call it Thrift Store Bibles is because a large focus here is going to be showing people that there are a lot of great Bibles and other resources available without having to spend a lot of money. If you've shopped for Bibles, purchased any Bibles, you know that they can get to be very expensive, especially as you get into study Bibles and things of that nature. I want people to see that it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. There's a lot of great Bibles and other books out there on the secondhand market, and sometimes even brand new, but maybe books that have discontinued publishing and are now being sold very inexpensively. So for this first video on the channel, this is kind of my time to just kind of awkwardly get through a video and record it and make some mistakes. And I want to show you, while I do that, some different books and Bibles that I've picked up to give you a taste for what I'm going to be showing on here and to start maybe encouraging you to look for these kind of things if you're someone who's out there shopping for Bibles and Christian books. What I got right here this is the first thrift store Bible I picked up. This is a NIV New Testament, and this is a very early one. This actually predates the 1984 translation. This would have been one of the first revisions they released. I don't remember. 1973, there we go. So very early. That actually might be the first release of it. This might have even been from before they finished the Old Testament, but I picked this up very cheaply many years ago, and when I first started coming back to church, this was what I brought with me to the studies I did with the young adult group. And I show it because it's the first one I picked up, and I don't really use it now. I've moved on to other Bibles, but it's a nice reminder of that time in my life. And, just dig that 1970s stock photography. That's great. That's why I picked it up, to be honest. Okay, this is a more recent one I picked up. I picked this up while I was traveling last year, while we could all still travel. And this is the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis, which I already own and have already read, but just check out that cover art. That is so cool. I couldn't resist grabbing this. It was, I think, $1. It was at a library sale in Memphis, somewhere around Memphis, Tennessee. And I just love, you see like that font, My Dear Wormwood. And then Your Affectionate Uncle Screwtape. I just love that font they use. That's great. So yeah, next time I read through the Screwtape Letters, that is the copy I'll be using. This is this thing's a monster. Parallel Bible, NIV 84, NASB 77, Amplified, and King James. I don't know how useful parallel Bibles really are anymore. You can do so much now with Bible apps on your phone and computers to do parallel readings. I picked this up because I just kind of wanted to pick up a parallel Bible just to try it out and see. They can be very expensive. I found this in a thrift store for $4. So if you do like parallel Bibles, you can find some really great deals if you look. You can also do a lot of that for free on your phone, though. Another thrift store find. This is a Zondervan. I probably just bumped the tripod. Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, edited by Merrill Tenney. I'm probably mispronouncing his name. Before I do a full review on this, I'm going to look up how to pronounce his name. But anyways, this is old. I mean, it looks old, but man, there's a lot of great information in here. Just great. This table's creaking. It was also a thrift store purchase. Just great articles, black and white photos. This was just a great find, and I think it was $2. I've read a few of the articles in there, and they've been very Very useful. Let's look for another Bible. This is an amusing one. Here's another one from the 70s. Like the first one, this is The Way. This is the Living Bible Illustrated. So if you're familiar with the New Living Translation, which is very popular today, the Living Bible was the precursor to that. It was very popular for a time, I think primarily in the 1970s. Billy Graham really endorsed it, and this is the version for teenagers, The Way. It's got photos, and you can see there's something about POWs. You can freeze that and read that if you want. It touched on a lot of the contemporary issues and culture of the time, and that would have been interest to a teenage audience. And there's just a lot of photos in here. Pretty cool. I think that was like 50 cents. You'll see these in a lot of thrift stores for very cheap. Kind of move things around here. Make sure I don't repeat books. Here's a Good News Bible. I had one of these when I was a young child. It's in Simplified English paraphrase. This one has the Apocryphal and Deuterocanonical books. I didn't have those when I was a kid. I was a Methodist, but I found that for $2. Looks like new. If you're looking for an easy-to-read version of the Bible, that's not as common these days, but it's a good one to check out. And I think my exposure is a little hot, but I'm not going to mess with it because I haven't experimented with making changes like that while I'm recording. So, sorry. New American Standard Bible Reference Edition. This is from 1973, so this predates the 77 version. But this is a great Bible, single column format, verse by verse, with references in the outside column. Just excellent. I love this one. I'll read from the NLT sometimes when I want to do some more, just kind of reading through, and I want a simplified reading experience. And then I'll keep this nearby. So if I want to look up a verse in a more literal translation, which the NASB is, very literal, this is great for looking up verses quickly. And this was $1. Just an outstanding deal. $1 at a library sale. Highly recommend if you find one of those old NASBs like that, grab it. It's also on really excellent paper, so I'll definitely review that at some point. Here's a Halley's Bible Handbook. These are still printed, brand new, but it's been around for many years. If you find an old one, you find it cheap, grab it. I paid $4 for this one at Half Price Books. You can see the bookmark actually. I probably could have found it cheaper if I'd looked around, but it's well worth it at most any price. It's a great resource. I've been using it as I've been reading through the Psalms recently, and just some great brief insights. It's all very short and sweet, so you don't get bogged down too far. Just kind of getting his quick takes on different things. Here's one I bought brand new. This was not used. This is a Holman Christian Standard Bible, HCSB Study Bible. And if you're familiar with the translation, then it was updated, and the new version is called just the CSB, Christian Standard Bible, and the HCSB is no longer printed. As a result, some of the companies that had these, like Christian Book, they wanted to get rid of the old HCSB Bibles for cheap. I paid $14 for this, and it's an excellent study Bible. Full color, a lot of notes. It's even got the indexing. We got word studies, Hebrew words. This is Betula, say meaning young woman or virgin. A lot of great information in here, and this is a great example of if you want to get a study Bible, you know that study Bibles can be very expensive. Look for some that are, no longer being printed or being replaced by a new version. You can find some really excellent deals like this. And in fact, I can tell you, I know right now I don't have one to show you because I don't have it yet, but right now the Baker Illustrated Study Bible, that's one I've seen a lot of good reviews on. It's being discontinued. If you go on Christian Book right now, they're selling them for like $13 in the hardcover. Great deal. And that thing, I've seen it. It's big. It's bigger than that one there, the Holman. Oh, what else do we have here? Oh, we've got some more of the... I had a little red one. There it is. This is just, it's a little RSV, Revised Standard Version. Not real common anymore. It was replaced by the New Revised Standard Version, or NRSV. But the RSV is still a great translation, and this is just a nice, small Bible. 2 columns. Illustrations. Is that Jesus and the teachers in the temple? Nice small size for carrying to church or thrown in the car. And it didn't have a ribbon with it. I added a ribbon to a few of these Bibles you've seen, but you can find stuff like this. I think this was 50 cents at a library sale. Great deal. It's not a bad idea to keep, if you want to keep a Bible in the car, just to have one. I found that's very helpful sometimes. I get stuck in a waiting room somewhere. Sit there and catch up on my Bible reading. You can do it on your phone too, but I like reading from a physical book. And I got a few, these are going to be what you'd call your academic study Bibles, like you'd see in seminaries, universities. Some people call them liberal study Bibles. I'm not going to get into that right now, but they can be very handy resources if you're interested in them. And you don't have to accept everything they say in the notes, but this is an older version of the New Oxford Annotated Bible. This is from when it was edited by Bruce Metzger and Roland Murphy. It was more kind of liberal Protestant tradition, where I think it's quite a bit more, it's a lot more secular, ecumenical now. It's definitely changed flavor a lot in the newer versions, but I like both, but I do like this older New Oxford. The notes are just brief and to the point, and I find them very helpful. You can find these on eBay for $5. I've got a couple. I think this one's in really excellent shape. I think I paid $10 for it at a Half Price Books. There's another one, you can see it over here on the side, that I bought off eBay for $5, and it's clean. There was nothing wrong with it. A little dented. That's the one I carry to church a lot, so I don't ruin any of my good Bibles. But yeah, those are a great deal. Another one you'll see commonly is the HarperCollins Study Bible. That's a good one. The key thing with a lot of these academic study Bibles, because they're used in universities a lot, people get them, they take a class, they use it, they get done with school at some point, they dump all their books at a library sale or half-price books. You can find these cheap. I picked this up in a library sale I was out traveling somewhere, and I was just killing time, and I found this for $4. Wasn't even familiar with it, but I saw it and bought it because it was a good deal. And yeah, it's been great to have, especially for $4. And that's a current edition, pretty sure. And recently I picked this one up. This is the New Interpreter Study Bible. This is another great one. And I don't think it's been changed since 2003, so there's quite a few of them out there. I picked this one up at a used bookstore, and the thing's like brand new, and it was $10. Just a great deal. I think if you buy that brand new now, it's $30, $35, somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, there's some great deals to be had if you look around. And like this thing, for $10, it's a lot. The notes in here are very extensive. You see, here's a big I was going to say article. They call it excursus. Here's a big excursus about the role of woman in Luke and Acts. So I haven't read that yet, but I'm sure it's very interesting. A lot of information there. So I hope that's helped you see just the kind of things you can find out there if you look, whether it's, like I say, I just bumped the tripod again. Used bookstores, library sales. Libraries are a great place to look. A lot of libraries now will just have Bibles for sale all the time, or, well, books in general. I mean, for sale all the time. They just kind of have an ongoing sale. I stop in my local library. Well, right now I don't because they're closed due to coronavirus, but when they're open, I stop in there at least a couple times a month to look. Um, yeah, thrift stores, used bookstores, I think I already said. Look on, like Christian Book. They have closeouts, Bibles that are no longer being printed or being replaced by another Bible. They want to get rid of their old stock. You pick up some nice study Bibles for $15 and less. Great deals there. Also, if you have a local Christian bookstore, I know sometimes they'll have sales, have things they want to get rid of as well. So definitely, look around and you'll find some great materials out there. And I hope this has been helpful to you and encourages you in looking for those things. And if this is interesting to you, which, I'm at 16 and a half minutes. So if you're still here, it is interesting. Hit subscribe. And as I get time, I'm going to do some reviews of these individual Bibles and some others that I didn't show, just to help put some more information out there, especially on some of these older ones that are maybe lesser known. So thanks for checking this out. Again, hit subscribe if you want to see more, and I look forward to hearing from you in the comments if you'd like to share anything. Thank you.